Hello and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. My name's Colette and I'm here today to do a reading for Aquarius, that are Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp energy of Aquarius. And if you don't know where any of those placements are for yourself, there will be a free natal link in the description box, which is down below under the video, so that you can go and check that out, because it always helps to know where your moon is, where your rising is, because then you get a bigger overall picture. And you can check out the corresponding tarot readings as well that I put out, and also on any other channel as well. So it just gives it a bigger, broader kind of picture. It helps you to kind of add more to it, shall we say, rather than just reading or listening to your sun sign. So Aquarius, this reading is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with all Aquarians out there, being a general reading. General readings never resonate fully for everybody, but hopefully it will resonate on some level for some of you, and also for cross watchers out there who are watching for an Aquarian that they want to be or have been in a relationship with. Just be aware that this may also be your story that is being told here as well. So if it makes more sense for you as your reading, then take it for yourselves. So the first card that I'm going to be showing you is an overall energy card that I pulled earlier, which is the Nine of Cups in reverse. And when it's upside down, the word underneath that is fortune. So it's wish fulfillment in a way, or blessings kind of coming together, feeling content, feeling that you've emotionally achieved what you want to achieve, happiness, abundance of happiness, but it's in reverse. So it's kind of saying to me at this time that you may well feel as though you're not in a position of, or almost like feeling as though everything that you had is kind of being taken away, or you're losing it somehow. It's like almost like a fit. It feels almost like it's kind of being not stripped away as such, but like almost like you can't hold on to it. It's like trying to hold on to it, but it's kind of slipping through your fingers is kind of what's coming through here. But I do think this is just a temporary blip. I don't think this is an ongoing energy. Although you may be feeling this at this time, you do have at the bottom of that deck the Strength card as well. So there is a lesson here to learn from this. There is something, you do have the strength to get through this, situation, whatever this situation is about. Being a general read, it can be about family, friends, relationship, work, whatever it's about. You have that strength, that inner strength that you can call on at this time, Aquarius, to help you through this particular situation. So starting the reading off properly, we have the Three of Swords in reverse. Three of Swords in reverse is saying to me that there is something that's giving you grief. There's something that you're possibly not wanting to recognize or acknowledge. It feels like it's something that could have been there for quite some time, because it's in reverse as well. It's kind of not being taken notice of. And the reason that I say that as well is because we have the Knight of Wands over the top here as the blocking energy, the challenging energy, what you're kind of being asked to look at here, and what's stopping that from happening. So the Knight of Wands is kind of saying to me, you want to rush past this. You want to kind of move it on really quickly. You don't really want to dwell on it. It's like, yeah, okay, that's done, dusted. let's move on. But there's something that's like blocking that from happening, because this is still sitting here. This is still in your environment, in your psyche, in your awareness. It's still having an effect on you at this time, this Three of Swords. So this is something that has given you heartache or grief, or just generally is being like something that you're having to keep. Like it feels as though you're kind of trying to keep pushing it in the background, but that's not going to be allowed to happen. It's like you need to kind of take a deeper look at this, is how it feels. In your head and what you're aware of, Aquarius, we have the World card, which is upright. And it is about closing out a cycle. It is about ending something. It is about moving on to something new. But at the same time, with this energy here, it's kind of saying, but until this is sorted, this needs to be, like the closing out of this cycle is related to this situation. Whatever that situation is for you. As I said, general read. Family, friends, work, relationship. Okay, so I will just say that at this time, astrologically, Aquarius, you have Saturn in your sign, and he's been there since December of last year. And it's also retrograde at this time as well. So this could have something to do with communication as well, like needing to communicate something. But I feel as though you're kind of wanting to rush past this situation. And in the past energy, we have the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is an energy of dissatisfaction, of not being happy with something, of kind of suddenly coming to a realization that things weren't going the way that you wanted them to, or thought that they were going to, which could also be why you have this World card here as well, because it is kind of reaching that end of a cycle. It's like something has come to or is coming to a close. You're kind of aware of it. It's in your head. You're kind of aware that something is closing out here, or that you're needing to close something out here. And again, I get that feeling of kind of like just wanting to just rush past that bit. Almost like you know that you've reached the end of something, nearly reached the end of something, and you're wanting to just really push forward with it, but you're not being able to, or if you do, you're going to kind of end up having to come back to this energy. It feels like coming back to it again, because underneath it, what's in the root energy, what you're probably not aware of, because it's the deeper subconscious, it's almost like the root of the situation, if you like, what's causing the issue. You have the Five of Swords, which is saying to me that you're not necessarily being totally honest with yourself about something here. Five of Swords is a card of I suppose kind of a dishonesty, but the dishonesty is towards yourself rather than towards anybody else, although it can also manifest as a dishonesty to other people as well, because you're not being honest with yourself in this situation, is how it's coming through. And we have the Nine of Cups appearing again, which is why I feel that this 9 here is just a blip, because it is upright this time. So something is going to, like, as you move forward, as you deal with the situation, things are going to come back into alignment here with the Justice card. But again, it's about being honest. It's about taking an honest approach, because the Justice card for me is all about actions that have been taken previously, which have a knock-on effect to, so it's, in a way, it's our past creating our present, which goes on to create our future. So it's kind of saying, be careful of, like, every step that you're taking at this time, every action is going to have a reaction, even towards yourself as well. And also, even if you're not taking any action, that will also still have an effect. It's like you can't escape it. But the Justice card being upright is kind of saying that there is something that is going to put this right, this Nine of Cups, whatever this is about you kind of feeling as though you're losing that happiness that you had, whatever was bringing you that happiness. Which then you feel or felt as though you are, or you feel at this moment in this time, that you are kind of, like I was saying, trying to hold on to it, but it's kind of just dripping or kind of going through your fingers, like trying to hold on to water, literally. But this would imply that that's going to change with this Nine of Cups. It's implying that you're going to move into a situation of feeling much more content. For me, the Nine of Cups can also be about a reunion with something, a part of yourself, becoming happier with who you are. Therefore, the actual situation around you changes as well, with the Justice card here. And you kind of taking an honest look at a situation that at this time you're not wanting, as I was saying, you're not wanting to take that look at. You're wanting to just rush past it, get it over and done with, and kind of, like, you know, move on to the next situation. But we also have in your kind of environment at this time the Tower energy, which is implying that there is something that you, especially with this World card as well, it's like something needs to change, something really, it's like something really big, something that you have outgrown, something that is no longer giving you growth, no longer feeding you, no longer giving you what you need. So the thing about the Tower card is it's a situation that comes from the outside, but it's like something within ourselves that needs to break out, break free, get out of the restriction, get out of the feeling of it all being too blocked, restricted, because the Tower represents us. The structure represents us. So it's like each of these bricks are things, ideas, conditioning, you know, childhood, education, parents, friends, all those people, all those things that we are influenced by in our life. It's like that we allow them to kind of influence our our own, like I'm getting spiritual kind of freedom here, Aquarius. I don't know where that's coming from, but it's like a spiritual freedom, like really kind of trying to fit into something. You have tried to fit into something because it felt right, or because you wanted to basically just fit in. You wanted to fit in. But now this tower is coming in to say, this is not you. This is not the person that you are. And like I said, it's something that comes from within us, but it always acts without, like outside. It's always kind of something that sweeps away our security, our sense of being, our sense of who we are. And it can be a card, a lot of people when they see the tower immediately react in the way of like nasty situation, but it doesn't have to be that, because the tower can also be a renewal. A renewal. It's a time of like with the lightning shock here, with the light, it's like a time of almost like, you know, revelation in a way, a time of kind of seeing things differently. And it's that moment, it's that seeing something clearly, it's that kind of understanding on a deeper level that brings that tower energy in, and the need to break out, the need to break free. And around you at this time, you have the High Priestess, and this is really about your intuition. This is about your inner knowing. And this is really interesting with the Tower and the High Priestess together, because it's implying to me that you know on a deeper level that all of this stuff around you, let's say, that has been built up to do with society, to do with how you behave and how you act, etc., etc., isn't you. You know on a deeper level, intuitively, you know that there is more to life, shall we say, than just this kind of physical structure, because that is kind of the domain that we live in. We live in this very physical structure, and within that physical structure we kind of hem ourselves in. But this High Priestess is saying to me that you know this. It's like you, on some deep level, you know that this has to happen. You know that this is important. You know that it's time to step out. Step out is what I'm getting. Step out of that box. Step out of that limitation that you allow others to put on you as well. Because we also have the 10 of coins in your hopes and fears in reverse. And the 10 of Pentacles is about that kind of stability. Again, it kind of goes with this Tower energy of stability, of like being told, you know, this is what you need to do to be successful, to be happy, to be content. You need to behave a certain way. You need to do like things in a certain way in order to get a certain outcome, to reach what you have been told. is valuable. Is like, Ten of Pentacles can also relate to status as well. Like, how much can I have? How much can I gather? How much, and does that make me important? But when it's in reverse, it's kind of saying, it feels like this wake-up call. This wake-up call to also possibly to your happiness. To what you thought was making you happy. But isn't necessarily doing so. So it's quite interesting because you've got quite a few major arcana cards on the table here as well. And you're ending with another major arcana card that we also have at the bottom of the deck here. So that's the Strength card that's come out twice. So again, that would imply to me that you do have the strength, and that after all of this has taken place, when you listen to your intuition and your inner knowing, you're going to realize on some level that this is what it's all about. It's all about, for you at this time, Aquarius, it's all about finding that inner strength. It's all about finding your voice in order to be able to say no to things that you don't actually want to do or don't want to have in your life. It's about balancing up the masculine and the feminine in very many ways as well, like the doing energy, the active energy, knowing when to roar, knowing when's the best time to be more gentle in situations and still get positive results, not always having to be the lion, but sometimes that is also necessary. So it's also necessary to not always allow situations to or people or situations to take advantage, shall we say, of your more kinder, caring nature. And it feels as though there's going to be a big kind of transformative energy here. It's like I said, you've got 5 major arcana cards. You've got the World, you've got Justice, the Tower, the High Priestess, and Strength. So they are all big energies, implying that something major is really taking place in your life at this time, Aquarius. So let's confirm these energies and see what's happening. Okay. The first card we have come out here is the 5 of Cups, which is interesting because we also have the 4 of Cups here as well as your past energy. So the 5 of Cups, this is dissatisfaction, and this is an energy of it's feeling like an energy of, again, wanting to leave a situation is what I'm getting with these 2 cards, over, like it's come out over the top of the 3 of Swords and the Knight of Wands, which is you wanting to rush away from something but not being able to, because the 5 of Cups is kind of saying to me here that there needs to be a deeper look at this situation. But it doesn't matter. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you run away from this, you're going to take it with you. It doesn't matter where you go, which kind of pot you go, move from one to the next. It's like, this is not going to be left behind. So you can run and keep on running, but you're still going to take this energy with you, is how it's coming through for me today. Like, say for instance, it's to do with a relationship. It's like you can leave that relationship and go into another relationship, but you're not going to have resolved the actual problem from the previous relationship. So you're going to take that with you into the new relationship, and it will just come back up again. This could be family, this could be friends, this could be work situations, but it's basically saying that you cannot, sorry about that, you cannot just move on from it. It will be with you. So over the top of the World card, what's in your head and what you're aware of, we have the Chariot energy, which again I feel is you really wanting to move past this, really wanting to get beyond that situation, close out that cycle, end it, close the door on it, shut it out. But what I'm kind of seeing here is this sun. It's kind of like really bright and kind of really in your face. It's like you can't just ignore it. And I feel as though you are kind of trying to find ways to do that with this Chariot energy down here as well. You are trying to move beyond it. You are still trying to stay in front of something. Maybe you don't want to face this situation as well, because you know that it's just going to be painful and possibly quite upsetting with the Five of Cups here as well. But if you look at this Knight of Wands, he's really taking a good look at this wand that he has in his hand here. It's almost like finding something that's buried here as well. It's another message that's coming through. That if you do take a good look at this, you will find something that's been buried. So the Chariot and the World card together. Again, because this is in your head, it's what you want to do. It's like it's like an escape plan in a way. How can I escape this? How can I get away from this energy? How can I move beyond this? How can I leave it behind? And over the top of the Four of Cups, you have the Queen of Discs, the Queen of Pentacles here. So this could be about an earth sign. This could be a Taurus you're dealing with, or have dealt with, or have tried to move on from. A Taurus, a Capricorn, a Virgo, all the earth energies. It could also be you realizing that you actually had to kind of look out for number one. You had to look out for yourself, look after yourself here. Put yourself first. Because with the Four of Cups here as well, it's kind of saying that it was just causing you more heartache, more grief. So this is about an energy of caring for you. And sometimes that is just as simple as leaving a situation that may have not been very healthy, emotionally very healthy. Again, could be family, could be work. That's too many, I'm not taking all of them. Friend situation or relationship situation. It kind of made you realise, that's interesting. We've got the Four of Cups here again. And the interesting thing about this Four of Cups is I always see her as kind of working against the flow of the current. So she's kind of walking upstream. So that's the Four of Cups that you've got twice here. So she's walking upstream here, and it's over the top of the Five of Swords. So you may feel as though you really, and this card of course is about not being completely honest with yourself, open to the situation. But that's what I'm feeling. It's like there was this need to walk away from this, because if you look here, the stream is actually going down towards the water, because all streams run towards the water into the bigger ocean. But it's like she doesn't want to go with that flow. So there was something within the situation, relationship, work situation, that was telling you to walk in the opposite direction, to walk away from it, to not become one with it, to become yourself, in fact, to find yourself, to look deeper and find who you are, what satisfies you. With this Five of Swords here as well, you may feel as though there was this energy of dishonesty. If this wasn't you, it could have been around the situation itself, that something wasn't being expressed fully, maybe. But again, it feels like it gave you this kind of sense of whether it was obvious or not, on a deeper kind of level, on a more subconscious level, it gave you a feeling of not being able to trust the situation, trust your part in that situation. possibly what it was asking of you. We have the Star card, which has come out, interestingly, in reverse, over the top of the 9 and the Justice energy here. The Star card is a card of optimism when it's upright, but when it's in reverse, it's kind of saying that there's a sense of dissatisfaction. Again, this deep disappointment is what I'm getting. A sense of disappointment that things, maybe that things didn't turn out the way you wanted them to. But the 9 of Cups and the Justice card are saying to me that there is something, like I was saying, like this would say that there's something not in alignment, whereas these two cards here are saying that there is going to be alignment here, there is going to be karmic retribution, well, not retribution so much, but justice, literally, like karmic in your favor, because she is upright as well, and the scales are going to be in your favor. The truth is going to be revealed or seen, or you're going to come to a deeper understanding of something. But in doing so, it may make you feel for a while that you're kind of out on a limb, or disconnected in some way. Star can also be a healing energy as well, so there may be a sense of not feeling again, I get this feeling of it being kind of an alone energy, similar to this energy here, kind of taking care of herself because she's in this bath or this hot spring or whatever, but she's kind of it feels like alone. It's like there's something about being alone here. And possibly also with this 4 of Cups as well, that you've had to struggle through this. Again, male or female, I'm not saying that it's just for women. Male or female makes no difference. I'm only saying her because the cards themselves are female. But there could be a sense of yeah, feeling like you've had to struggle through this, and you're still feeling that sense of struggling through this, even though things may be turning or will be turning in your favor. On another kind of deeper level, there is also still this sense of disappointment. Maybe disappointment that things didn't turn out the way that you wanted them to, or the way that you envisaged them turning out. Like you have this idea in your head that this is how it's going to be, this is going to be my happiness, this is how I'm only going to be happy if it's like this. If it's not like this, then I'm not going to be happy. That's kind of how it's coming through. Even though with these two cards, it's kind of implying that something is going to be, like I was saying, in your favour. Things are going to be aligning, but there's still this part of you that doesn't feel as though you have got what you wanted. And it could be that it's going to be even better than what you were expecting. But there's still this kind of, it's not how I saw it. It's not what I envisaged. It's not living up to my expectations, possibly. So, wow. Over the top of the Tower card, we have the Sun energy, which is amazing, because this is clarity, this is breakthrough, this is you really seeing things clearly and understanding why all of this in a way has had to happen or is happening. But when the dust settles, I kind of feel as though there's still this sense of it could have turned out differently, or it could have been, but this energy here is kind of saying that you are really opening up or waking up to something that is much more positive, like a deeper understanding, again with this High Priestess as well, this deeper understanding of this had to be the way it was. Even though there may be a part of you that's wishing that it could have been different, or that it hadn't had to happen that way, or that it could have worked out. More fairly or more balanced. But I don't feel as though this is against your, like, I don't feel as though this isn't going to be for your benefit. Let's put it like that. With the Tower and the Sun card together. It is like a sense of freedom as well that is coming in here. Of releasing, of freeing yourself from something that has kind of really held you back. Not allowed you to shine. And also I'm getting the words traditional. So it's something to do with tradition, traditional ways of being. And over the top of the High Priestess, we have the Three of Discs in reverse. Which again is an interesting card, because the Three of Discs is about working together, teamwork, doing things to benefit others or benefit each other, coming together. Not when it's in reverse though. And I feel on some level that this could be about you, with this breaking out and breaking free energy here. This is about you kind of striking out on your own, but still on some level missing what you had or how you would like it to be. But there's something here that you're having to strike out on your own to achieve. And having to really listen to your own intuition to do so, and not other people. Like whereas before you may have turned to other people for guidance and insight and what do you think about this, and should I do it like this, or should I not do this? Or but now you're kind of really having to look deeper within your own, trusting your own intuition, trusting where it's going to take you, knowing that if it feels right, then it's right, and if it doesn't feel right, then it's not right. And for some reason I'm getting kind of snakes and ladders with this card here as well. Almost like reversal of snakes and ladders, so you're going up the snakes and down the ladders. I don't know if you ever did that, Aquarius, as a child, maybe got bored of the traditional kind of way of playing the game and kind of broke out of it, broke free, did something different. I don't know if that makes any sense to any of you Aquarians out there. So hopes and fears with this Ten of Pentacles, which again is kind of a traditional energy. It's that stability, it's that kind of foundational, stable, which for me is coming through, like I was saying, it's coming through as this sense of knowing on some level that this Tower energy is going to be beneficial, but at the same time losing that stability, losing possibly like friends, family, people who, as I was saying, people you would turn to, people you would ask their advice. Or maybe even just one person for some of you. Because over the top of this this Ten of Pentacles, in your hopes and your fears, we have the Five of Swords. It is upright, and we also have the Five of Swords down here as well. And I'm always kind of drawn to this wasp that's kind of a hornet, whichever you prefer to call it, that's sitting in the middle of these swords. It's like the sting, being stung by something. A Five of Swords is a difficult energy. As I was saying, this one down here has a feeling of something that is not honest. Whether that's, again, you not being honest with yourself, Aquarius, or whether it's the situation that's not being honest with you, people around you not being honest with you. But it's in your hopes and your fears. Again, it could be that sense of not knowing who you can trust anymore. And we have, over the top of the Strength card, the Shaman of Swords, the King of Swords. which is kind of, there's a similarity here for me with this energy. Vocal is what's coming through, very vocal. Possibly something that you haven't wanted to say as well, Aquarius, something that you've held back on because you don't want to hurt somebody, which could also be this dishonesty as well. You'd rather kind of walk away, even if it's difficult, even if it's a hard path that you're choosing to take. But there is this sense of something vocal that needs to come out. I'm kind of seeing this ladder here as well, which is interesting. Which we also have down here as well. So saying up the snakes and down the ladder. And all that kind of swirling coloured mass is kind of looking a bit like a snake as well. A snake, of course, also sheds their skin. So this could also be a time for you of transformation. But there's a sense here of kind of voicing, really kind of saying what's on your mind, really opening up. And as I was saying, with this sun energy as well, like shining, because if you see here, he's got all these spiky, like rays of sun coming out of his head there. Which could also be part of this stinging energy as well. I feel as though something is going to be said here. Something that needs to be said, something that may not have been, like I was saying, voiced. Because he's also got this red flower here as well over the top of what would be his neck or his throat chakra energy. Which is kind of where, if you follow the colours here, it just feels like something needs to be voiced here. Something needs to be said. The truth needs to come out about something. But there is this fear as well that in saying so, it's going to hurt. And maybe not just hurt the other person, it's going to hurt you too, Aquarius, having to say it, having to... Well, that's the fear. But at the same time, there is this kind of sense of like, if I don't say it, then it's going to kind of eat you up, kind of thing. There's an eagle sitting on top of this ladder as well, which is interesting, very tiny. You can see that little blob there is actually an eagle on top of that ladder. And eagles, of course, kind of fly high. They have an advantage over any other bird because they can fly higher. So they can see the bigger picture as well. But there's a sense of things, like once you do voice this, whatever that may be, when you do voice it, when you do let it out, when you do release you, is how it's coming through with this tower energy and this sun over the top. It's like finding that voice, finding yourself, being honest and truthful to you. And if it feels like it's going to set off a whole kind of wave of kind of motion, perhaps a wave of almost like changing a timeline. Just in that one action. So let's see what the Keepers of Light would like to say to you, Aquarius. What's the message for Aquarius, please, from the Keepers of Light? Source energy. Source of all that is, all that has been, and all that is coming into being. Could we have a message, please, for Aquarius? Sun, Moon, Venus rising, and cusp energy of Aquarius. And for those of you who don't know, the cusp energy of Aquarius is you being born at the 0 degree point of Aquarius, moving away from the Capricorn energy. So if you are on the cusp energy, you might want to check out the Capricorn energy, the Capricorn reading that I have done previously. And also, if you're at the 29 degree end of Aquarius, you're going to be moving into the Piscean energy. So you may want to check that reading out as well when I put it out there. So we have El Moira, Awakening Presence. The universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. So let's see what El Moira has to say. Okay. El Moira is a spiritual name that was given to protect the identity of Ranbir Singh, a spiritually aware man born into a powerful family that ruled Kashmir, a region in the Indian subcontinent, in the 19th century. It is said that he interceded both spirituality and physically to stop the British invasion of the region in 1845. This wise soul is now able to help us remove any energy from our life that is not serving our connection to God, source, connection, like universe, whatever you prefer to call it. He is a wonderful guide to call on if we are unsure if something is real or not. He helps awaken our I am presence, which is our truest connection to our soul and to the universe itself. So spiritual protection is important at this time. Ensure that you are cleansing your energy before putting on protection. El Moira is here with a legion of angels to help you understand where you are at now. Fire up your divine connection and detach from dramas, people, places and emotions that no longer serve you. Remember that within you there is a mighty soul light. Allow that light to shine through your entire being. Then call on El Moira and his angels to surround you in a light that will keep you safe on all levels. Also know that facing fears and seeing the truth will strengthen your connection to the universal life force. Once again, the reading seems to be kind of summed up in one card, which is quite interesting because that's how I'm kind of seeing that energy there. This is you breaking free, your spiritual release, I suppose, in a way. Allow that light to shine through your entire being. And detach from dramas, people, places and emotions that no longer serve you. That's kind of what I was getting here. That traditional things, establishment things that are no longer a part of who you are. And just hold you back. So let's see what the Angels of Light. That card was the Seekers of Light. And so let's see what the Angels of Light would like to say to you, Aquarius. We'll do a few more messages. Guidance for Aquarius, please. Sun, Moon, Venus rising and cusp energy for Aquarius. Are the messages or the message for Aquarius at this time? Please, source energy. Oh, there we go. We have two, no, we have three. Faith, synchronicity and aspiration. So faith is saying, faith is such a powerful quality that it moves mountains. Angel wisdom reminds you, however, not to have blind faith in people or situations. That could also be this energy that I was talking about here as well. Use common sense and discernment and never give your power to another. Instead, put your faith in yourself and the higher powers, which is what I feel you have been learning, Aquarius, to do here. Pray with integrity from your still wise center and know that your request will be granted. Act as if it has already manifest. That is faith. Your angel guidance is to increase your faith in the infinite. And the affirmation here is, I have faith in the support of the universe. So that's faith. Synchronicity. There is no such thing as chances in our incredible universe. The coincidences and synchronicities are carefully orchestrated by our guides and angels, so recognize them as the hand of spirit. Rejoice when you notice them, for they are the angel's message to you that you are on the right path. Start to expect them and look for them. Be aware that there is a divine reason behind them and consider what the message or lesson is. Synchronicity is also a reminder to you that all things happen in divine timing. And the affirmation is, all things happen in perfect timing. So that could also be about you not kind of rushing through things or rushing past something that is needing to be dealt with, looked at. Sorry, my nose is really itchy. So lastly, you have aspiration, and it is saying it is time to set your sights higher. If you are settling for the mediocre, aim for the superb. Stretch yourself to fulfill all your potential and hold mighty visions. That could also be this card here as well. That could be why there is this sense of disappointment, even when things are going the way that you want them to. As I was saying earlier, things being good, but you still not kind of feeling that they are exactly how you want them to be. Find the wisdom within you which enables you to aspire to the great and glorious. Then expand your comfort zone so that you can explore your dreams. The angels guide you never to settle for less than your incredible human spirit can achieve or deserves. As for help from the angels, ask for help from the angels and they will guide and inspire you to raise your consciousness and live at a higher level. Let your spirit soar and aim for the divine. And the affirmation is, I aspire to the great and glorious. So Aquarius, those are the messages for your reading today. I hope that it has been of some help and some benefit to you. Please, if it has, and if you found anything of interest or have learnt something from the reading, could you thumbs it up, give me a like, because that really is helping my channel to be noticed, and that helps other people to come over to my channel and to see what's going on here as well. Also, to those of you who haven't subscribed yet, please could you do so, because again that helps to get my channel noticed and it helps to get my messages out there. And those of you who have liked and subscribed to my channel, thank you very much. I really do appreciate you being here. Also, there is a subscribe button for those of you who want to subscribe on the video. So if you tap that, the little bell comes, and if you want to receive the videos as and when I put them out, or know when they're going out, then tap the all and you'll find out, or whichever kind of, but if you tap that bell, because I believe there's different options and you can just do like for your own sign, but if there's other signs that you're interested in, then tap the all part and you'll find all the videos you'll be notified. Also, there is a playlist. There is no times, there are no dates on my videos because crap happens all the time, and as and when you watch a video, if it makes sense, if it resonates with you at that time, then take it as your video, because videos are timeless. It's like anything can happen at any time. So I don't date or time them, but I do put titles on them. So if you're looking at a title and it jumps out at you and you think, oh, that sounds like something I'm going through, then if you watch it and it sounds like your video, then it is. And of course, if that is the case, you can still like them and also share my videos as well, because that really helps me as well. So if you watch an older video from my playlist, please also do thumbs them up for me, because it does make a big difference. And I have noticed that people have actually added likes kind of months later, so some people are out there watching my other videos, and I really again appreciate that, because that is going to help my channel to grow, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm also working on the astrology for the full moon and the new moon. At this time coming up, we have the full moon in Pisces, which I will be putting out at some point as well, both the tarot and the astrology. I do both, and also I do the all the sun signs. So with all that being said, I'm going to finish the video and say thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for watching it. Please take really good care of yourselves, and hopefully I will see you again soon.